Peace. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you back into another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player with you after a little bit of a not even rough night, but okay night, I guess. I went on live for almost like 2 hours, off the cuff. Um, I was a little bit tipsy too. My Mets happened to lose late into the evening, and I was a little bit somber because of that, but I also was having a hell of a day like prior to that, and got into the cups a little early birdie, and fucking woke up with the ill hangover because my little nephew came over and he was screaming. Um, but thankfully I got to sleep in the middle of the day, which I never get to sleep in the middle of the day after I woke up, and thus far I had a pretty good day. Mets played in the afternoon, which I love. Fucking um got to sleep. Investments are looking right. Fucking so I guess in spite of all that, or because of all that, having a swell day, if you will. Yo, what up, Mike? Let me know if you want to hop on too. Oh, no homo. But let me know if you want to get in. Um Besides all that though, one of the things that I did want to talk about, I hope I titled it right as far as the video goes. Some of the supply line issues that are happening across the country. Unfortunately, these things don't get reported in the news like as they should. Um, One thing, and that pisses me off, like in the sense that, um, I mean, I don't watch news. Besides, taking a peek here and there, like it's not my forte. But if you haven't heard, I mean, like a couple months ago, there was a supply line issue as far as with the with a company that supplies a lot of the fuel from one major market to the next. I don't want to say where, like fucking, because I don't know off the top of the rip. I think the company is called like Coastal or some shit. It may operate from down south up to like the New England area. Supposedly that was hacked. How much of that I believe? Zero. Like I don't believe that shit. But then today or yesterday there was also a issue as far as a the biggest meat supplier in the world, globally. Like they also got hacked, fucking and now we're starting to see these things. Well, even in the past, they were like kind of like putting stories out there like in the news as far as like kind of like forerunners to a lot of this stuff happening. Like they were even talking about it like sometimes as like cyber pandemics. Um, Again, I think a lot of this like stuff is baloney, but I think they put it out as a forerunner, like to try to say, all right, like we have these problems as far as like supply lines being hacked, and so what should we do about it? And then a lot of times, like the stuff that they do to rectify these issues is to fucking just assume total control of it, and you know you can't comment on it, like fucking, or you can't say shit about it. Um, if you speak up on it, like you look like the asshole. Similar to a certain doctor that had been speaking out for months about a certain issue that kept everybody in their houses, and like now that doctors' emails have seemingly gotten leaked or spilled out. I think it was actually not leaked. It was a FOIA request that was put in, and which kind of like alludes to the fact that he had a lot of knowledge of this whole little issue that kept us in for a year. But if you wanted to say 3 months ago, like that, you were on the side of thinking that a lot of this stuff was overstated or overblown, you look like the dick. And like I'm telling you from a personal level, like I don't even talk to people like about anything to do with the issue that kept us locked down. Like if I go to like somebody's house and they start talking about that shit, I pretty much break out. I like people get way too like butthurt and like fucking explode. Like who the fuck you think you are? Like but you don't believe in like this or like my man like fuck or like there's mad people like I noticed that like and I go on Facebook to be nosy, to buy silver, and to look at memes. Like, but I did start to notice. I had a friend that I've known since I was a baby, so I was like 4 years old, and this dude's always mad emotional, like on the internet. But I was gonna write to him because it was his birthday or some shit. Like I literally like know that those like this dude's like my brother. Not like that. Like I mean I know him for a long time. But it wasn't like we would hang out all the time. But he was like real weird, like when we were young, and I always found him like I love weird people. So I would always hang out with him. Like I would always go to his house, and like his mom would always cry over shit. Um like if he left a mess in his room or some shit, his mom would start crying like and giving like these long speeches. But if she wasn't crying, like she would be beating his ass, and I would find it like so hilarious. Like I would just like crack up. All his brothers were weird. Like it was like four brothers, and like all of them were like strange. Oh, somebody's writing to me. Nice. And and I would hang out with them because they would have the like crazy, strange stories, or like go to their house and it was just like a just crazy stuff like without like with the mom preaching and all this shit. But anyway, so we were close. Like I mean, we're still close. Like he's still my brother. Like, but Micah has jumped onto the scene. But we like my friend. But I noticed that or like call him through Messenger, and he was like no longer my friend no more. I'm like, what the fuck? But maybe like people, maybe he alluded to the fact that I may have stated something. But like once you have anything that like goes off like one little different bit, like this way or that way, people attribute a whole bunch of other shit to you, like off the rip. Like people like don't like really think things through like many times, and it's kind of like frustrating at times. But now so, like, as far as like like the popular dynamics and like or like what was like maybe like a month ago the like the gospel, if you will, or you couldn't really contend it. Like you fast forward like a month later, and like shit is completely changed, and the rules switch up, like and stuff like this always happens like nowadays. But moving up, like but it was like, and I used the whole example of what has been coming out in emails like today and yesterday as an example of like where a big problem happens, and then like you gotta like kind of like give in to like what the powers that be like suggest that we should all be doing, like because of this problem that's happening or a problem that's happening. And I think some of the supply line issues like that are brought upon by um hacks that are happening now supposedly, which I don't believe, supply line issues which are happening like with the Suez Canal, with that ship that got stuck in the canal, um where they're just gonna take like mass control and say like so that these things don't fuck up, we just need to really put our mitts on it and like take control of these situations. And like where it may concern some of the people that have started watching me recently is like with cryptocurrencies, because a lot of these two of these hack things that happened recently, supposedly they were um demanding ransoms in cryptocurrency. With the pipeline one, they did get like 4.4 million in Bitcoin. They were paid out 4.4 billion. No, 4.4 million. I'm sorry. So I think that with that problem, the crypto problem, as far as like supposedly paying for ransoms, what they're gonna say is like, we need to take control of this like crypto situation, and um because of these ransoms that are being paid out on crypto, which I think is bullshit. What they want to say is that, this is a big thing, and I think we should get a grip on this thing before it gets out of hand, and we take control of it and use the ransom aspect as just a driver to get to like where we want to get to. But with me, I don't know if he's stepped off, but I do have Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More, one of my longtime homies and constant contributor to this channel, as I am to his channel. Like I always try like to jump on like Mike's channel. Michael, if you could hear me, say what up to the peoples though. Yeah, he must have walked away. He's left us with the overcast of um, the Ohio skyline. But if you he'll be back shortly though. But if you could like please like subscribe to Michael Johnson Boxing Talk and More. But I do want to get more into this stuff. Like if you like the I'll talk about silver at the end of it because it wasn't no crazy news. Like there is some like sort of crazy news like with silver, but my allergies are bugging out today. Another thing that we are in the midst of Pride Month, if you will, one of the most annoying fucking months in the history of mankind. Like um, especially in New York. Um, one thing you guys may not know, I used to be a partner in a like a storefront business. Sorry. And I used to in New York, like they have these like roll down metal gates in storefronts, and I used to like install those. Sometimes we would install like signs for stores too, the cheap ones, because I like my friend had a hookup like to get like signage for stores, so we would install it like we would get it for cheap. Like sometimes I could pay like $100 for it, and you could charge like 700 like to put it up, maybe more. So I know what signs cost, like because some of the places that make like the signs, they'll make like bullshit like vinyl banners like that you see like outside of like where it says like grand opening or some shit. But some of those places make like legit signs for like corporations like Bank of America. And it'll be like, not just the little light up shit. It'll be like everything that says Bank of America in front of a store. But for like big shit like that, to throw something up like that in a store, like sometimes, you're talking like a hundred grand easy. And it's not even like a big bank or some shit. Like a regular Bank of America, like Citibank, like a small one, you're talking like 100 grand for like their signage, if you will. I say that to say because in New York, pretty much every big store that has like a corporation, like in New York, has changed their signage top to bottom, like to honor Pride Month, and it's only fucking 1 month. So it's like rainbowed out everything. Like it's just annoying. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure like I may sound hard on like gay people in the past, but I'm pretty sure like gay people like might find that annoying, like the whole pandering aspect of it. And the ones that probably don't are probably the ones that every part of any society and every race like gets a little bit of a warm feeling in their heart when they get a pat on the head by the powers that be. And those are the people that I don't like to think about in life, or that really shouldn't have any contribution as to how one should think. And same thing with these people. Like I think a lot of people that do get happy about that, like or not I don't think a lot of people do. Like I think a lot of people front like they're like happy, like fucking that Pride Month is like such a big thing or a big to do like it is now. To me, I just find it extremely annoying. Like and in New York, like like the whole skyline is done in like this rainbow colors, like fucking the skyline literally, like the buildings of every big building in New York. right now, the only one that hasn't changed it yet is the Empire State Building, and they will. They're gonna be switching up. Maybe by today they probably already did it. Yesterday it was every building but the Empire State Building. Sorry, man, fucking allergies. But come tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Empire State Building already fell in line. But Michael Johnson came back. I was telling the people about subscribing to your channel and how much you contribute to this channel, Mike. But let the people know what's up too.
Oh yeah, man. What's up, bro? Now I was setting this football helmet real quick. I got to paint, but yeah, I thought I'd jump right on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just got out of football practice and shit. You
Oh,
know,
that's good.
as, as,
And honestly, you
as you
came
can see.
nice. And you came right on time too, because I was just talking about something that's near and dear to your heart, as far as the Pride Month. Like, but let the people know what you think as far as your, because I know you've been out for quite a couple years already. So let the people know what you think.
What the hell you talking about? Shit, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Ain't
Nah, I just
nobody, ain't nobody, shit, ain't nobody
keep it
fucking
PG.
sword
Keep it
fighting.
PG. Keep it PG, because I'm pretty sure that people are gonna go back into our someday. Like people are gonna go back into our content of maybe like a year or two ago, and our channels are gonna hit the kibosh like fucking
Well,
how we used to
yeah,
talk.
yeah, you're right. I mean, to make a long story short, ain't nobody sword fighting over here.
Nah, no, nah,
But
bro. I'm just messing with you.
but you know, the only thing that's strange to me is that you know, it seems like folks, got the game all fucked up when it comes to life. You know what I'm saying? And and the way I see it is that folks would rather like literally, folks would literally rather sit here and party. Change up. See how fast they can switch these buildings up, put all these billboards, put all these banners up, and shit like that. When all this real fuck shit is going on in this world, you know. But a lot of folks, it ain't nothing but no party, going out there drinking and stuff like that. I know a lot of straight girls, what they say they straight, say they going and stuff like that because they know how to party and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, cool, but you won't catch me, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Because all they is doing is pandering to the madness. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people rather do. They rather party and live in their own misery instead of actually work on changing shit in this world.
Yeah, one thing you do see, like as far as with these like pride parades and shit like that, is usually like the shorties that be going more. Cause like, you know, I mean personally, like I don't got no problems with, with screw who you want to screw, but if you're cool with me, like, you're one of my boys, basically. Like, I am gonna look at you a little bit differently for attending a fucking, parade or some shit. Like, just is what it is. I mean, like, it's not nothing like, you do for fun or like, that just goes without saying. I mean, honestly. But a lot of times you see like more shorties and like, like there are like broads that are on my Facebook shit and like, every year they go to like these like pride parade, like there's a pride parade in New York or to the Halloween parade in New York, which is like probably worse than the pride parade. And it's usually like hood shorties though too. Like I mean, you see a couple like white broads like sprinkled in there who you could tell like aren't like gay or anything. But the ones that go like, that are straight, is usually like here in New York, I mean like Spanish and black shorties. Like I don't know what it is. Like, it will be I don't know. It's just like it's something that's like way overblown and way overly like pandered to. And I like talking about these things too because it's not like people make it seem like, like they like the parade, if you will, or flag, um month that they get, like, kind of like Black History Month. They'll give it like Pride Month. You know, they almost make it seem as if it's like a race, if you will. So by all standards, like today, you shouldn't be speaking on like or shitting on like another race. So then like when you have this thing, it's like basically like just because you fuck somebody that looks like you, like then you have all the same protections as far as like people shouldn't talk about like their disagreements with you based on like that, or like you're a bigot or you're a racist, or or some there's not they don't call you a racist, but they make it you could get fucked up in the game as far as like losing a job or some shit, or what I'm saying, like. And it is dangerous too, I mean, because like from my experience, like in the past, like as far as like the people that would go over the top and give their opinion on like people that practice like shit like that would be more like so-called minorities. Like we don't have like a filter a lot of times. So I mean, like hold on, my cat. Give me one second. My
Oh
cats are
yeah,
fighting.
yeah. Ding ding ding. Let's get it on. Yeah, man. That's right. That's right. Tear that ass up. Yeah.
One second, bro. I gotta get my wife to get the other cat out of here.
Yeah, you heard it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Shit,
Now,
let's
but
get it
cook on that if
on.
you could.
Huh? Yeah, man. We're just talking about like, I just, they can do whatever the fuck they want, man. They gonna continue to do what the hell they want, tell you what you should think, and all this other stuff, man. I just, try to stay out of it because them cats, man, you can't have no opinions with them, man. You can't have no opinions. But Florida governor, he put his backhand down. He said, "No, we're going with biology, not ideology." He said, "The hell with that." He said, "Ain't no women out here gonna be out here. No dude is gonna be competing with women. No more." Yeah, yeah, he laid it down. That's what I'm talking about. You can't have that, man. You can't have that. Get
No,
that
and
shit
I'm
up
kind
out
of
of here.
glad that I did catch that yesterday. It was that actually came out on yesterday. Today's June 2nd. Like that came out June 1st, and a lot of people were saying that that he put that news out there. Oh, peace, Scrapbook man. But please, if you haven't subscribed to Scrapbook Boxing, man, like you're missing out. But Scrapbook Boxing said what up to me and you, Mike, and thanks for coming through, man. Scrap, I appreciate the you know you up in here. But yeah, like Governor DeSantis did put that out yesterday. I mean, like, and some people were saying that he did it on the because it's the beginning of Pride Month. Who gives a shit when he did it? But I think he was doing it more as a statement because it isn't right, like for shorties to be competing against people who were born men. I mean, it's just a physical thing. Like I think one way that if they do want to compete in sports and shit like that, they should have a league of their own. Like people who were born men, like um by way of biology or science, if you will, should be competing with other women who were born men. And I mean, like that league or that classification of sports would probably be famous for like a weekend. Like no, like if people have a hard time watching women's boxing and women's basketball, or you know, imagine what people who were born men but are classified as women basketball. How long would that last? You know what I'm saying? But so I mean, if you like, for all intents and purposes, a league of their own in those instances would be fitting in this case. But I actually do applaud Governor DeSantis in doing that. Um, a little bit of it is trolling on his part, but I think a lot of like sometimes like in today like what's happening today where you really can't address things directly, like the only avenue for you to kind of like have a counter notion like to a popular notion nowadays is to troll, you know, because God forbid, you don't want to get censored or you don't want to get in trouble. So I mean, like, just to give somebody an aha moment or is kind of like more befitting than like
Suck it,
arguing.
nerds.
What you said?
You know that word, Revenge of the Nerds, and that dude was like, "Suck it, nerds."
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that movie too, man. But I don't know what you heard about that first, my first part, like where I said
Well,
that
which part?
a lot of these like supply line issues that are happening now, like where they're getting paid out in like crypto, like when they hold the like these hackers supposedly like um hold these big companies for ransom, like and they try to get paid in crypto. I think that that's fake. Like
Well, I think some of them are real, um, and the reason why I think some of them are real is because a lot of these cats out here, um, they don't have updated systems because they don't want to pay. You know, so but then sometimes I think that it's the easiest thing to say because um, did they what were their findings? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they find something? Was it like something? Was it some malware that they always say, or something like that? Like, you know, it could just be blanketed. My whole thing is, you know, to behoove anybody, whether or not you, the neighborhood dope dealer or whatever the case may be, to have a steady supply chain. And when your supply chain is interrupted, you know, you can't you can't fault us. The people you're supposed to be selling to, you're supposed to be making sure that you can make it right. We shouldn't be paying more for something that's your fault. Whether or not it's a ship stuck on the canal, which never should have happened. That shit was odd. Somebody was asleep or they had a free will. Is basically that means they lost steering. Um, but when you up in there, you should always have, if your boat is too big and stuff like that, you can't turn like that. So you should always have tugboats on your side to make sure that they keeping you straight because you
yeah, I
can't go
think
too
I think in a
fast.
canal, like for the most part, like you always have a tugboat like bringing you through.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Like
in
a
case you
harbor
get off
master like
course
has to take
and shit
control
like
before
that.
you even go in there.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it, I just think that, you know, and what better way to invest your money is to say, um, well, we can't do this because of some fucking hacker. And you take all your money and out of the company and you give it back to yourself. There's all types of ways that this all of this can go here. There's all types of ways that we can go here. You either believe them or you don't, or you just give them the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, is when you start falling us at home,
I think you're having an internet issue, Mike. It just cut off. It dropped altogether. Yeah, but I do think like a lot of what like Michael was saying, like that a lot of these things shouldn't be passed on like to the consumer, if you will, or like that we shouldn't have to pay for like some of these issues. Like and I do think that in the best case, like what Mike was saying, like as far as like a lot of these systems being outdated and being vulnerable, but Also, I mean, if you do have like something that's like as integral as like a pipeline, if you will, that provides gas like supposedly like from the whole east coast of America, and you have a outdated or antiquated system, that's similar to me, leaving the doors open in my house with the spotlight, let the spotlight on my door, and then bitching about getting robbed. But it's actually a lot worse than that because at the end of the day, if I get robbed, it really doesn't affect Michael Johnson or my next door neighbor or anybody else. But like, if you oversee a company which provides a fuel to the whole East Coast, um, and you have an antiquated system that is vulnerable to getting hacked, then I mean, like, to me, that's almost borderline like criminal. Um, but it's not. I mean, like, and also there are anomalies. Like, any system could be hacked. Like, I mean, and it's harder to hack some systems than others, sure. But there's always a vulnerability in everything. But like the fact that all these things are happening now, and like they all like for the most part have to do with supply line issues, like uh with the pipeline thing, with the meat company, the biggest meat company in the world, like now has gotten hacked, supposedly. The MTA yesterday, the Metro Transit Authority, and released a statement yesterday that their systems were hacked by a Chinese company. Um, it's just I think that they want to keep that story like fresh in our minds, like, and then you know maybe in the future tell us like, well, we got to take control of this thing, of like cryptocurrencies. Like, we don't want to be held for ransom and like have these people um sort of have be paid in clean money by cryptocurrency. We want to really take control of these supply line things and like maybe start rationing, just shit like that. Like, I mean, like people that I'm starting to think that like people that have like an overt like amount of control over like the populace, they don't like to relinquish that control. Like, especially when you once they get the chance to do it, like I sometimes they just keep doing it. But what do you think, Mike? Could you hear me, Mike?
Hold on. What would you say?
No, I was saying like as far as what you said before, like the fact that like the systems were antiquated, and that it could like that could be a possibility. But when it happens like three different times, like with really really big players, as far as this fuel supply company that supplies the whole East Coast, and now the biggest meat company in the world also got hacked yesterday, or the news is coming out that they got hacked yesterday. The news came out today that the MTA, the Metro Transit Authority of New York City, which operates the trains and buses, public trains and buses in New York City, they also too got hacked in April by a Chinese company. But the news came out yesterday, right on the heels of this other meat company getting hacked, which is highly suspect. But I think that they just want to keep that issue on our minds. Like, hey, listen, like, we're getting hacked left and right, being held for ransom, like with cryptos. So maybe we should get control of this crypto situation. Or like, we're being like hacked with these supply line things. So maybe we should um, take control via rationing or some other shit, like some bullshit that may be coming down the pipe with these things, like, where they just try to exert like more control.
Yeah, they know. They know that shit was fucked up. But I mean, this happened years ago as well with mall, with people. A lot of people getting their credit card information stolen. Nobody knows how it was getting stolen because a while back, malls didn't have adequate security systems for the ATM systems. So people were just fucking sitting out there in the parking lot, stealing everybody's shit. And this was like maybe 2000 to 2005. Motherfuckers was doing that shit. You know, when they it was they were still running Millennium when they should have been on like XP. You know, they were using, sometimes 10-year-old, 5-year-old security equipment that couldn't be updated. Couldn't be patched. None of that shit to the newer standards of security. And there's no way in hell, like, you got a train system. You know, no way in hell you should be getting hacked. You have a meat supply, right? No way in hell that all your distributors, like people with a lot of fucking money, has their data, their information stolen because you can't handle business. We're not talking about me and you. Okay, motherfuckers spending 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, and shit like that. Big companies, from McDonald's, fucking, KFC, all these motherfuckers getting these big ass truckloads of food up in these to go across country, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and then you gonna take their shit because you ain't got no adequate security, man.
Yeah, it is a lot of BS. I mean, like, and the thing is too that um supply lines are supply lines. It is what it is. Like once I mean, a lot of people did see that stuff play out with the toilet paper, like in the beginning of the lockdown. At the end of the day, I mean, like, if they don't got it, they don't got it. So I personally, like, because I just came back from California when this lockdown shit really came into play, and I went out. I said this story yesterday. I went out to a club because it was my birthday, and I got sick as fuck like 2 days later, and I couldn't go out, and I didn't get a chance to like resupply like that. So I was running around just buying like shit wherever, like toilet paper wherever. I never buy toilet paper that if it's not on sale, shit like that. But I was having to buy it from like bodegas, and even there, like they were running out. Like even there, they were setting aside shit that they were just gonna keep for their house. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, if they don't got it, they don't got it. And like, with supply lines, like I mean, like, you may want to put like a regulation in play, like once something happens. But if there's a real legit supply line issue, which now I mean, like I think that they are gonna start coming into play more, whether they're bogus or not. Um, it could have like real world implication. Like a lot of people talk about the lumber prices. That was a supply line issue. In essence, all these other things like gas just went up. Like raw oil, like crude oil, went up to $78 a gallon. I mean a barrel today. Um, could that be part of a supply line issue? I mean, like normally, like the gas goes up in the summer, no matter what. But at 60 a barrel, like we already started getting like high prices. Like over here, like the prices are like $3 a gallon, and Jersey's usually really cheap. Fucking but once it's crossing that threshold of 70, it's gonna go up a lot more. But
Another conspiracy theory will be like, check this out. Motherfuckers gave all this motherfucking money for COVID and all this shit. What better way to get their money out of your ass by way of tax? What better way? Make you pay astronomical prices for gas. They
nah,
getting
it
their
could
money
be.
back.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard, but they're putting supposedly they want to hire like 80,000 more IRS agents or 50,000 more IRS agents here shortly. And I don't know what the hell that's for. Like I mean like but that is a large ass number. Like I mean
Well,
like
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna go after these motherfuckers with the PPE loan, you know, and you're gonna people a lot of people gonna be snitching on people for this stuff too, because the IRS will give you money for snitching on tax evaders. Um, they got a tipster thing on their website now. You know, people thinking that they gonna get away with this shit, with all this COVID fraud shit. Like y'all motherfuckers going to jail. Y'all motherfuckers going to jail. They're gonna be looking at shit like, how you got all this high value items, right? And you ain't got no money coming in. You ain't got no Robinhood account. You ain't got no silver. You ain't got nothing. You got all this money, right? But you ain't got no money coming in, right? So they going after him. And I don't feel bad for him. You know, I don't feel bad. I would not feel bad for him. You stole from somebody and they want their money back. And that's just straight up. So, you know, I just hope that you know, everybody ain't gonna get caught. Everybody ain't gonna get caught. But, you know, there's gonna be people out there getting caught. You know, and all of y'all that was supposed to, and then you got the other guys that's out. You got some people out there that was getting these loans for businesses, loans, not grant, was getting these loans for businesses. Well, even if it was a grant, you know, what makes you think they can't come after you for spending that on your personal shit? Your house, your car, extravagant vacations and shit like that. People better wise up quick, because they coming. They coming for their money, man. And if you ain't got it, because you most likely spent it, they taking it out of your ass. And that's time in the Fed. So y'all better start doing push-ups and calisthenics now.
Yeah, I mean, I do see some bullshit coming down the pipe. Like, you know, personally, I mean, like, you know, like I don't give a shit. Like last year was a tough time for a lot of people. Like fucking, I did okay. But I'm not saying that, you know, fucking like I do or don't, like, you know, want people I mean, I definitely don't want people to get yammed up unless they're like big time offenders. Like, cause a lot of people that like probably were like jerking the system, if you will, probably, you know, may have a little bit more or less money than like, you know, you and I. Um and I mean, both of us are some broke motherfuckers. Or we're not rich, if you will. Like fucking um but I, you know, as far as audits go, like I mean, from what I like understood in the past, like, you know, getting audited, even at random, it just fucking sucks. Like, you know, it's you could have all your shit in order and it's still
Let me
fucking
use the
like
bathroom real quick.
go ahead. Yeah, you could have your all your shit in order and like be like totally above the board, and it still blows like fucking getting audited. Like it's never fun. Like nobody says like, oh well, I'll show them like fucking because you know you zig or you zag, yeah, you know, like, and you're completely fucked in the game, and like, you know, you got to pay these crazy interests like if they think that you did filed wrong or some bullshit. Um, but that shit sucks. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's crazy times we're living in. Like fucking you know, I think a lot of people like don't see it like, you know, for what it is. I mean, like, I think a lot of people don't really have time to see it most times because fucking you know, going to work and all this shit. Who got the time to be like looking up shit about the supply line or the price of this going up or that? You know, like fucking you just want to live your day and eat your fucking half a sandwich at work and not get fired for the most part, and fucking not beat the shit out of fucking Jared from accounting or some shit. Um, you know, so I mean, like, if people aren't like privy to a lot of like, you know, what we're talking about, it's not like the I don't think you're dumb or like fucking but it's just a lot of times, you know, who has the time? Yeah, and Tyrone Smith box CS boxing came through. If you
What up,
could
Tyrone?
if you could like subscribe to my man Tyrone too, man. Like Tyrone's good peoples. Um yeah, but it's a lot of crazy shit. Like one thing I did want to talk about is like the price of like the market in crypto today. I mean, like really briefly, like I did go up across the board. Like I don't want to give specific prices. I mean, like yeah, Bitcoin went up a little bit, like 2%. Fucking Dogecoin beasted today, like fucking Did really well. I think we jumped up like 15%. It's pretty good. Fucking the yeah, for the most part, everything else like kind of like went up, like because Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up with it, which is not good for crypto. Fucking, I always say that. Yeah, Doge was at 42%. I saw everything went up. Tyrone said, yeah, it did, man. One thing though too, like that I did want to touch on, like I mean, I want to try to touch on silver as much as I could, but silver over the weekend went up. Like for silver to go up like $1 is like bananas news. Like and it usually goes down like in intervals like that, like 70 cents and then $1 like or two over like a span of like 5 days. Um, but lately it's been staying above like 28, like it went up like $28 an ounce over the weekend, and I thought it was gonna go down. I was actually gonna sell and try to come back in when it's lower, but thankfully I didn't because it's it actually stood down like I mean stood at past 28. It's actually going up. Since I started this video, it was like 28.15. Now it's like 28.20, and those aren't big numbers. They really aren't. Like even if it goes down to 28 or up to 32, like those don't seem like significant numbers. Um, but uh, you know, it's just something to look at, I guess. Like Lost One wrote, "Hey man, just wants to say for the Wire vid, best show I've seen even today." Yeah, man. Like I mean, I don't know if you're talking about the Wire or my show. I mean, if it's my show, fucking big ups. But if it's the Wire, I mean, like if you people haven't watched did you watch the Wire, Mike?
Yeah, man, they could have kept that up, man. I think they ended it wrong. Um, but it was a good show. I think they just ended it wrong, man. That could have been something spectacular. But they ended it too short, man.
There was a rumor that they were gonna make another season. That was like with not new players totally, but that how like one year it was like the kids, like the next year was like the newspaper, next year was like the dock workers. Like they were gonna do a season with the church,
Right.
which they probably could have done, but a lot of people didn't like the ending because it ended fucked up. But I thought that was a good ending because it was real shit. Like fucking yeah. It and Lost One actually wrote it's better it ended how they ended it, other than giving it trash. Other than giving it a trash ending. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the way it ended. It's fucking sad, like the way it ended. But I'm glad that they didn't like glamorize like anything to do with like the hood on the whole show. You know,
Hey yo,
and
hey yo.
when you look at other shows, I don't watch like fucking Empire or that other piece of shit show, Power. Um, but damn, I want to use an example of shit that like more like hood people like watch, like Scarface, let's say. Like I never watched Scarface and saw it as a cautionary tale. Like man, like I shouldn't be vested in to the street life. Like I saw Scarface and wanted to go out there and pump. Fucking I saw Belly, same shit. Belly's a bootleg Scarface. Like if my the only thing is where the hell did all those actors go? So many good actors on that show. It's mad. Yeah, man, definitely, man. Um, Lost One. I don't know if I said it. I didn't say it in yesterday's show, but the guy who played Lieutenant Daniels, he lived like 3 blocks from my house, like from where I grew up. He lived in 45th Street and Fifth Avenue. Um, but I used to see him out there all the time. Not even Omar got nothing after. Actually, Omar did play on a couple of shows after that. He played on. He was in a movie called The Road, which a lot of people don't know about, and it's a fucking really good movie. I mean, like,
Now he played in
scary
a
as
couple
fuck.
movies though.
Yeah, he was in the show Boardwalk Empire too. It's another good show. But he was actually in a show recently where he was playing the Man again, like in
No, here's another TV show right now. I thought.
yeah, there was a recent show he was on Lovecraft County, and he was playing. Of course, they had him typical HBO fashion, having the brother play himself.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, he's a fantastic actor. I mean, I just it's just a little bit disenfranchising that they always make him do those things, if you will. I mean, not shitting on nobody, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, like a lot of the other actors, like they didn't really go on to do. Maybe they did. I mean, I don't watch it like that. They should have got the kids on that show to do shit as they got old. Well, actually, no. Homeboy that played the enemy of Black Panther in the movies. I think his name is something Jordan, but he was on on the Wire too. A lot of people don't know that. He was one of the kid actors. Um, that show made Idris Elba, and look at him today. Yeah, bro, definitely. Idris Elba is a fantastic actor, though, bro. Like very underrated actor. Did you ever
oh
say anything?
no! Oh,
Was he?
it's coming.
Yeah, that was him. Lost one, and I wasn't watching the show at that time. Like I watched that show, or I started watching the show in 2000, like say like 2010 or some shit, like way after it already ended. Um, and I made the video yesterday because I'm just about to finish it with my son.
Oh, remember the other joint they had on the prison TV show?
The what?
The prison TV show.
Oz?
Yeah,
I didn't watch that show.
man, that shit was wow.
I heard it
Woo!
was crazy. I mean, I saw a little bit of it. Like it looked a little bit
Some of
too
that
nuts
shit
for me.
I had to fast. I had to leave the room till it went off. When they see some dudes getting done up, I had to shit.
Yeah, I'm straight on that, bro. Like I that's probably why I don't watch it because I heard that it has a lot of that on it. You know, so it's a hard pass for me. But I did hear like it's a really good show from other people.
Right.
But if you get a chance, watch watch County. Lovecraft County's on point, but they do play themselves. You know the guy who tapes the phone book to Omar in prison. That guy was a real life Omar. Oh, that's what's up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's also the guy who I think ran the rim shop. That was
Shit,
like
Snoop killed the motherfucker in real life.
huh?
I said Snoop killed the motherfucker in real life.
What do you mean?
The chick, Snoop,
Oh, she killed the big dude.
she killed somebody in real life.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would have tore her ass up.
Oh no, no, I did hear about that. Yeah, my bad, bro.
Hey man,
Be,
on a side note, man, did you buy some of that AMC, baby?
nah, I try. I stay out of stocks, bro. I don't.
Ooh,
Yeah, my
man, I bought some at 6. I bought some at 9, and that motherfucker is at 60 something dollars.
yeah. Lost one is asking after the wire. Like, did she kill somebody or before?
I think it was before the wire.
Yeah, I think it was before too. That scene when she goes to buy the drill was bad. Yeah, that was actually a great scene, bro. Like when she goes to the hardware store. Um, I believe like I'm not like sure. My friend was on a show with um Snoop from The Wire or somebody I grew up with. Um, it was a reality TV show though. I ain't watched that shit like fucking Love and Hip Hop. But somebody I grew up with was on the show with Snoop. Like she was on Love and Hip Hop in the
I'll
same
be right
season as
back.
him. I um yeah, man. But if you do get, I mean, like as far as movie recommendations though, like I mean, definitely get a chance to watch The movie The Road. The Wire. The guy who plays Omar has a mad small like part in it or a small role in it, but it's with the guy from fucking Lord of the Rings. He's in that movie. I don't know nobody else like that's of note, but it's like an end of the world apocalyptic movie. Um, it's the best end of the world apocalyptic movie like ever. Yeah, definitely do check it out, Lost One, and definitely try to cop some silver over to the UK, man. Like I should have brought some of the of the UK silver that I do have. I have a couple tubes of it. You ever hear about Top Boy? Oh no, I don't think I have, bro. Is that a movie or something? Yeah. Hold on. Okay, I'm making sure I didn't time you up. Oh, the road I saw. Oh, you did see it? Nah, that shit is good, bro. Like it's actually on YouTube. Is that the one where they are chopping the Pinot up at the start? No, no, no. I don't think so. It's on YouTube though in its entirety, like the movie. I just saw it on YouTube with my son because for some reason I heard that they were like trying to like put the kibosh on that movie. Um, because it's like a raw ass movie. Like they have like cannibalism and all this shit. Omar was in a small scene towards the end of the movie. Like I swear it's yeah, it's the guy and his kid. You're right. Yeah, that's the one. It's just the guy and the kid. Yeah, that was the one, bro. I'm glad you watched it though. You're the only like other soul beside one person that I know that's watched that movie Lost One. It's really good though. Um and I
Yeah,
like
man.
it too.
Man. You won't catch me watching Brokeback Mountain. You won't catch me, Jack.
Nah, ain't nothing body about it, bro. Like check it out, bro. Like the oh, but Omar was the guy that tried to rob him like for the shopping cart, like at the end. When he was on the beach. But nah, it's a good movie. It's good in the sense that like if some end of the world shit ever happened, like it just shows how raw shit could be. Because a lot of people think that the end of the world, like would be like camping out or some shit, and like oh I could anybody could camp out, or that you'll be hungry for a few days and like you'll survive. But like like when the toilet paper shortage happened here in New York, motherfuckers were brawling. Like that shit was out of hand. Um, and that's for toilet paper. I mean, you could wipe your ass with a math book or some shit. Um, or with fucking I don't know. I don't want to get that vulgar, but like you can make do without toilet paper. Is what I'm saying.
Get some
Um,
newspaper, nigga. Get to
yeah.
work. Get some
Uh,
newspaper. Get something smooth.
yeah. Tyrone Smith. All right, guys. I gotta go on underrated. Yeah, man. Like, and shout out to underrated too, man. Like,
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, Tyrone.
yeah, underrated is my man's. Actually, I'm gonna wrap this up too, like, cause I'm fucking getting thirsty and I gotta drive down to VA tomorrow. But for everybody who
Yeah,
came
yeah.
through, man, peace to you, bro. Like, peace to Tyrone Smith, underrated. Michael Johnson, boxing, talking more. 503
Lost one.
Lion, Lost Dawkins, Lost One, The Watcher. Subscribe to all these channels too. Like, fucking, if you could, and you're listening, catch this later. But with that, I'm out. Thanks for coming through. Take it
Yeah,
easy too,
yeah.
man. Peace.
All right, homie.